Hey guys, and actually what I'm going to do from now on is I am going to record this, like always, that's normal, but then I'm going to upload it in the Light It Up group too for my PS coaches to see like what they're missing, and see that they can have some like one-on-one questions too, if they want to like, and then learn from your guys' questions and all of that. And also I talked to Josh about, you guys know, like this past month especially has been crazy, and I was terrible about like honoring these, and like because I was traveling and stuff, and he was like, you need to delegate that. So when I can't, just know that these will always happen. I will appoint a different leader if I can't do it myself. So I know there's going to be a couple times like when I'm at leadership in October, and we might be traveling again later in October, and then I'm going to Josh's event. Just know that I may ask you to step up and like be the facilitator of this and like give your sage advice and stuff. And yeah, so maybe that motivates some of you. Maybe some of you guys are like, no, thank you. But I just wanted to let you know that that's going to be like the norm. So these seem to work the best on the weekends. So I'm going to honor that too. And it'll just be like, it'll be 10:30 every Saturday. So first, before anybody has to hop off, I am going to take a little picture. So everyone, don't do something weird if you don't want it on my Instagram story. Okay, everyone looks cute. Okay. Okay, that's like all I have basically. Can you guys believe we're almost through lift 4 for those of you that started it when at the very beginning, and for those of you that are doing the refresh this week, I'm like so excited. Even though like week 5 I saw like a lot of decrease in bloat from lift 4 and just a lot of gains in general. My abs are so sore from yesterday's moves and just in general. But I'm just really excited for this team, like, oomph. And then for, just so everybody knows, I am planning on doing like another round of the 3-day refresh again. I think I only sold 1 challenge pack, but I got a lot of just like the basic refresh, which is great for volume. And so after they see my results and everybody else's results that is in the group, everyone who shares in the group their before and afters gets a little prize from me. I'll just tell you guys what they are. Well, I'm wearing one. They're these cute little, Gina Kish is an affiliate for them, but it's these pure I don't know, bracelets with their kind of like string bracelets. They're super cute. I'm wearing one that's like army colors. But that's going to be like their little prize, like a reminder that they kicked ass. So that's my little announcements, I'm fired up. I'm going to have Amy start. She needs to start so she can go see her grandma. I just think that's so cute. So, and special welcome back to Jessie, and a welcome to Casey and Hillary. This is your first mastermind call, so I'll walk you guys through like how this goes, but it's awesome. Amy kind of knows the drill, so go ahead. You're unmuted. Go ahead, girl.
Okay, so I would rate myself like a 9, I think. I've been like sending out tons of messages. Like I haven't updated the spreadsheet. I need to get on that. Just with travel and stuff, it's not up to date. But I send out like all my messages to people who like new combos to people who are like liking my photos and just following me until I run out of people, and then I just start messaging people from my niche until Instagram blocks me, and then I go and do that again like at lunchtime and then before dinner. So I get like 50, probably more than 50 per day, but I just write down 50. So that's good. I have like tons of messages in my inbox whenever I go to Instagram, which is really awesome. Like, I'll have like 30 or so to get back to you. But then it's like I get through the script, and then when it gets to the price, it like people are like, oh, like can't do it. And so I'll do like the coach invite thing. And still they're like, oh, like September or something. And I'm like, well, that's not promising, because people never sign up when they say they're going to do it later.
Oh my gosh, I know. I always tell people, when people tell me I'll sign up on payday, I'm like, no, you won't. Like pretty much nobody does. But I will say that like just keep like following up with them. And even when you're like done following up with them, they like so many people come back around. Like it's crazy how many people come back around. So you're doing like all the right things. So that means all you can do.
Okay. So do you like when you get through the 7 follow-ups, then do you ever like follow up with them again in like a couple of months or something, or do you just totally take them off your follow-up list?
It kind of depends, and I just like go with my gut, like based on like how I feel about them, I guess. And I'm trying something new where I'm spacing out my follow-ups a little bit more. So I'm doing, and I can like send you guys this. It's pretty easy. It's just like follow-up 1 and 2 is 1 week apart, 3 and 4 2 weeks apart, 5 and 6 3 weeks apart. So I'm still talking to them over a course of a couple months now. But I also tend to try to fix things in my business that aren't broken. So maybe this was dumb of me to try to do this, but I thought like, what's the harm in like just keeping contact for a little bit longer? But there are other people, like especially girls that I really want to join the team. Like I think I can think of like 2 offhand. One has joined, and I like genuinely had a relationship with her. Like I really enjoyed watching her stories, like that sort of thing. Does that make sense? Like, so just like trust your gut kind of thing. Have you done any video inviting?
I haven't. I've only done like the follow-up video, so I should try that.
You should, because so many people, and I'm just like, I feel dumb when I do it. Like I record it, and then I send that out, and my open and respond rate, I'd say, is close to 50%, which is crazy for coach invites. And some people say no out of the gate. They're like, I'm not interested. And I'm like, that's fine. And it didn't, it's still like a copy paste message, just with a little bit more personality. And once you do it like the first 5 times, you're like, oh, who cares anymore? And like, I'm not joking. Like the first day I did it, I didn't even want to go back to my messages, because I'm like, I saw that people were responding, and I was like, I don't want to know what they have to say about me doing that video. But it was like all positive. Like even the people that were a no were like, oh, that's so sweet of you to think of me, or like it just comes across like so wonderful. And no one is doing video messages, so that's your challenge for the week.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that for sure. Have you done any invites, just like boot camp invites video wise, or you're only doing coach invites?
I'm only doing coach invites right now that way, just because I do get enough of a pull of people interested in my boot camps, like from my stories. Do you know what I mean? Like I have enough people interested in boot camps, whereas I still need more people interested in coaching. But there's like no harm, like especially if I like think of like after I worked out and I'm like dressed like this, that would be like an authentic time to do a boot camp invite. Like, hey, just finished my workout, was thinking of you. Do you want to join my next boot camp?
Okay, simple, easy.
And yeah, it's actually fun. It's just as easy as a copy paste message. And like my avatar girls are responding, and I'm just going off of like my followers list and people who are following me.
Okay, I had another question, but now I can't think of it. Oh, okay, yeah. So are you just sending like the 15-second video then, or are you recording like a minute one and sending that? It's just the
No, I'm making sure it's on Instagram stories. I record it on Instagram stories, save it, don't post it to Instagram stories, and then that's what I send out, because I want it super short. So wanting to answer your question, I say like, hey girl, I keep it generic so I can, send it to a lot of people. I'm like, hey girl, I have been wanting to ask you, but fear has been holding me back. And I like make a joke, like I'm like #no more or something stupid. And I'm like, so I'm just gonna ask you, like, would you ever consider joining my team as a coach? And that's it. That's all I send. And what's great is sometimes they're like, I couldn't watch it. The sound was off. I'm like, oh, I have it saved. Like I can just resend it. And I take a new video every day, because if they're watching my stories, I don't want them to be like, why are you wearing something different today than in that video that you just sent me? I want it to look as authentic as I am personally. So I hope those tips help.
Yeah, super helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm counting so I make sure I keep our time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 12. Okay, so everyone gets like 4 minutes. Okay, that's good. Who wants to go next? Who has it? Go ahead, Jessie.
Okay. So I think I've been doing a better job about, I have to rate myself first. I'm going to say like a 7, because Tony's little brother's going to college this weekend. So the past 2 days I have been focused on like little baby brother time. So,
Yeah.
but today and tomorrow I'm like getting all the stuff done in my classroom possible so that I don't have to stay after school. Cause I really, with being in middle school now, I get to leave at like 2:30, which is amazing. Cause then I get to go home and work before like Tony gets home, which so excited about that. Cause it's like 3 hours of work time. So, I think I've been doing a really good job about being authentic. I think that before I like got out of this group, I fell off and I started doing like you were saying yesterday, parroting other people.
Mm-hmm.
And now what I did at the beginning of this month is I set a monthly plan of what I wanted to post about every day for the next month.
Love.
And it's so helpful because I just look at my planner now and I'm like, oh, I'm posting about like Bandit today, or I'm posting about like my classroom today, or I'm posting about food today. That way I make sure that I have a wide variety of things rather than just like what I'm thinking about today.
I love it. And on that note, before you ask for help, I am trying something outside of STEM, just like a little bit more. I'll get into it later. I want to make sure it's good before I like recommend. The Diamonds already know about this, but it's an actual person who like studies Instagram algorithm and all that jazz. And it like, I actually am going to, whatever, it doesn't, no, I don't need to get into it. I can do it in the Boxer group. But he was like, how many times a day are you posting? I was like 1 to 2. He was like, why? He was like, that is way too many. He was like 4 to 5 times a week, like max. So I was like, whoa, like that's a mind blown like moment. And I'm going to do something, I'll do like a little training on like why, and he gave me reasons with the algorithm and all that stuff. So just keep that in mind going forward. I think it's going to, I know it's going to free up my time because editing photos and like thinking of stuff to say, like you said, is not a strong suit of mine. So always, and sometimes I was feeling like I was posting to post, and he's like, that's what happens. And he's like, I was like, some people are posting like a lot, like 6 times a day. He was like, no. And Danielle's friend who owns a company, they were like, why are you guys doing that? Like, you're not even giving your people a chance to miss you. So just keep that in mind. I think it's going to be great that's attractive to new coaches. 4 times a week, period, is way more manageable than 14 times a week. I mean, it's a third. And stories all day, every day. So I'll talk more about that later. I don't want to take up too much time, but I love that you have it organized. That's what I'm starting to do too. And I think it will just be, like you said, more authentic to you and like professional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's my squareness in me, just like organizing that out. It just makes me feel so much more prepared. And with the spreadsheet changing from the Action Academy to the spreadsheet, it's taken me a while to adjust my numbers. Like I love being challenged to that next amount of numbers, but it's definitely a mindset shift when you're sending out different stuff.
It is. And so what I like to do, because I mean, I'm upping my own numbers too, is I like to do batches. So like one day when I'm doing just coach invite, I'll do just coach invites and I'm sending that video. It's so easy. If I'm going through my followers, like I'm like, she's cute, send. I can send 35 in like 7 minutes because it's easy. You're in that mode. That's just a time management thing, you know? So keep that up. And I'm really excited for you and your new job. And I think it's going to be amazing. And no, Casey, I forgot to post a light it up check-in. I thought of that when I sat down today. So someone call me out in there, or if you notice that night, guys, just you post the check-in. That would be amazing because I will forget. If I don't schedule it, I forget. Okay, who's next? Steph. Hi, Charlotte.
Can you say hi? We have a birthday party to go to at like 11:30, so we're trying to get our stuff together. So I would say I'm like an 8 or a 9. I did pretty good these past few weeks. I just need to like make sure I'm getting out my messages, but I've changed up my script a little bit and I've been getting way better response. I have been here, go play over there for just 1 second, okay? I've been getting way better response rates with the videos, like especially if somebody says like they're having questions about like a boot camp, I'll send them a video about their specific question and they respond back way better. Or not way better, but like they respond back versus not. So my response rates are better. And yeah, I have a few coaches that are like wanting to work the business. So I'm just trying to figure out how to like lead them better. So I've been trying to do a lot more like leading training and like figuring out how to be a leader versus just like a coach. I mean, I know a coach is a leader, but like just from, you know, doing that. So yeah, that's what I'm working on.
Good. I love it. And I assume you sent them the training, and that's like, I mean, just, yeah, like team calls and answering questions. I don't know. I feel like I'm always a work in progress on that too. And I was talking to Josh Coates about that. And that is my easy to compare to other people game is I see what other people do getting started right calls with all of their new coaches. And I don't do that because so many new coaches don't get past the training. So I like weed out that way sort of thing. So it's definitely like finding your groove, trial and error, but it's such a different, it's like fun. It's a totally different type of coaching. And I know that the teacher in you is like this is where it's at.
Oh yeah, it is. It's so funny because that you say like people don't make it past the training. I have a friend on another team and she was saying how, oh, we don't have that or we don't do that or anything. And it just like really solidifies that like, this is why like Rachel's the bomb because like we do this and like we have this. So like I very much appreciate it. And it's nice because then I know what to go off of to like guide my team versus like other people that are like, I don't even know where to start from. So
well, thanks, girl. And so if you think of questions like with your new girls, just shoot me a text or whatever, and we'll work through it. I love like now I get to work on developing leaders. Like that's exciting for me. Like, and I love that about coaching. It's always like a new layer, but always keeping like, it's like a sandwich. I don't know, when you're just building I'm trying to think of an analogy, obviously. But, you know, you always get to keep your basics, but it keeps building and getting better. So somebody think of a better analogy.
It's like an onion. It has layers.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Who is next? Danielle.
Okay. Am I unmuted?
Yeah.
Okay. I think someone just came to take a tree down at our house, so I might have to go.
Hopefully it doesn't take down your house.
My husband just left my daughter, so I had to come out here and get her. Okay. So I would rate myself a 9 as far as messages and everything goes. Keeping up with my numbers. I want to ideally only work 5 days a week, like sending messages. Obviously, I'd still be following up on the other 2 days, but just being like actively doing that, not on the weekends.
Yeah.
And that's been hard. So increasing these numbers it's been tough for me to get it in, but I've got it in. So I feel like I'm doing a good job at that. I feel me and Kathy were saying you don't realize how much stress, it sounds so stupid, but figuring out a post or 2 posts 7 days a week is freaking exhausting. And I feel like an idiot and I'm posting the same stupid crap and I have the same damn pose. And so 4 days and it being like a quality post or 5, I think like took a huge weight off of my shoulders.
Yay. And it
so
wasn't even intentional. I'm so
yeah. So I feel like it will be so much more natural. And it is. It's one of those things that you can look and find a Beachbody coach like that because they post 10 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
So that I feel much better with that. I feel good as far as getting challengers signed up. It's just more where I'm at a crossroads and where I'm being challenged now is getting coaches started because I've not really, all of my coaches have been discount coaches. And so to kind of have, like I signed up, I told you last week, the first girl who's like interested in coaching and I'm like lost. Like I'm totally, I feel like I'm faking it because I don't know really what to do with that. And so I need help more with the steps of what to do with them to get them going, like after they do their training, and having, so
definitely like their training for sure. And then Really, so this is where I struggle with a mentality because I basically did everything like by myself. Like my coach didn't really help me with stuff. Like she answered questions at the beginning and stuff, but she's not like riding my ass, like motivating me, you know? So, and there are other coaches like, you guys know like Megan Eggleston. She's a 15-star. She's adorable and she does not have an upline like at all. Like 3 above her, all 3 are discount coaches. Like she does not have support. She was like, I was self-made from YouTube and wake up calls. So just know that we have way more than the average team and the best part with Think Ethic, like the training course on there, is they get a weekly reminder to work on it. If they don't finish it, like I can't.
Well, like after they're done with that, like she finished it within like 2 days, and I've never had anyone do that. So I was like, oh God, now what?
Well, just tell her, like, put into action what you learned, get her in the green light district. They still have a spreadsheet, and just have her get on team calls and stuff. And just, she should be posting 4 times a week on stories all day, every day. And that's all you can do.
Okay. And then real quick, as far as like that video, I don't have a problem or I'm not nervous to do like that little video, like the 15-second. My struggle is, and this is what I was telling Kathy, there's no one that I can send that to who I haven't already asked.
I would like, okay, so do you mean like before you sent like a cheerleader message?
Right, like I've already sent the cheerleader message. Like I don't have people. You have so many people I think that you haven't talked to. I don't have people who I've like watched for a little while and not already invited them.
I would, some people like I sent the cheerleader message to, they saw it, they didn't respond. I still sent the video.
Okay.
Because, and I always think back to what Gina Kish said, like, she's like, just invite people again. Like they probably, and sometimes I like unsend the one before. I don't know if it changes it on their end or not.
It doesn't.
But it changes it on mine, so I just like feel better about it. Like if they're like, no one has said, you already asked me, and Gina says like, just ask people again. Like it just means something different at a different day. Like,
okay,
you know. So I just don't ever think just do it.
Okay.
Perfect. That's so true, Steph. Like, think of all the mamas who open it at the grocery store and just forget to respond. They're like, and they have a screaming kid or whatever. So, and honestly, a lot of people are like, there have been people, I was like, I've been actually going back to a couple people in my warm market that I really want to join my team, but I've been too, like legit, I'm too scared to ask them because they're in my warm market. And, I've had like two of the 3 said they're interested. Like I would have never asked them, and doing the video I think made all the difference. So video it up. All right, who's next? Gina W. Steph White, you're on deck. I saw your hand go up too.
Okay, me. Or Steph?
You.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, so in the last couple days I've been working. I felt like, I don't know, like probably a 7. I still am like trying to just catch up on everything. But the video inviting I love because I can just like mass invite, which I love that. Instead of like what was happening is like I'd have, if I like got to like the end of my messages or whatever follow-ups and I still hadn't hit my invites, I'd have to like spend so much more time just like, you know, like trying to get the last couple invites. So I love that. I wanted to clarify one thing though, just to make sure. It sounded like you haven't even talked to a lot of the people you've been sending those messages to, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's what I thought. And then the biggest thing I'm like struggling with is the follow-up. So I think like what you mentioned to Amy is going to like help a lot with just like spreading out the follow-ups, because that's like the thing that I'm like, I can't get on top of. Like it's nuts. And I did start like weeding out people. So like if they were like kind of interested but not really, like if they're like, maybe like next month, like, sure, I'll follow up with you. But I think I was holding on to people, like, because like, I think Jamie even said this at Summit, like, I followed up with her for like a year or whatever. And I'm like, that's like great. Like if they're legit interested, but like, I think I was like holding on to people, like hoping they would like change their mind.
Yeah.
And I don't have time for that.
Right. And there are people, like, I feel like Jamie saw something in Amy that was like just a little bit different, you know, like, and I have people like that. Like I have this one girl that comes to mind that she has not joined, and she actually follows Amy Redham. Like if you join her team and not mine, I've invested, like, I love her. Like I really like watching her stuff. We're very similar. And so I have been following up with way longer than the norm because we have a genuine relationship. And Jamie said that too, like with Amy, like they ended up connecting with their dogs and stuff like that. And that happened with one of my new coaches and our kids. We were kind of doing the same thing. So I feel like Amy was an exception to her rule. I don't think Jamie follows up with every single person every single month. Knowing her, I just don't. I think that was an exception.
Right. Yeah. I think that's like the key. Like I do have a couple of those girls and I'm like, I absolutely adore you. Like I love you. And I really like, even if like you're never on my team, which I hope you are, but like, I really like following you. And then the other thing that, because a couple of people were talking about the posting. So before, like a couple weeks ago when I like planned out, I think I planned out 2.5 weeks of posts, which was like so good. Hi, honey. No. It was, okay, go by daddy. Of course, is the moment they come in. It was so good, but it was really hard to get out to post a day and plan that out. So it was very helpful because I felt like I could actually sit down and like really think about like, what do I want to like share with them instead of just posting like random stuff. So I'm going to try and do that again, but yeah, I think going down to just 4 posts is really going to help. What like 4 posts would you do?
So that's what I was going to say. So I was really, then that helped me hone in on like the things that my people like to see. So I scrolled back and I'm like, what got the best engagement? Of course, it's always food. And I knew that, but I'm like, I can't do 7 awesome food posts because I hate to cook. So that's a problem, but my people want to see that. Can I do 1 a week? Hell yeah, I can do 1 a week, and I know that's going to be an awesome post, you know? And then people will come to my page looking for awesome recipes, like easy mom recipes. So that's one of them is food for me. And the other is obviously going to be fitness. And then my third, and I made different categories in my notes on my phone. And so then when this is going to be way easier for me to sit down and be in creation mode and write out posts, and I categorize them. So then I have, okay, so food, fitness, and then my coaching one kind of goes into like different subcategories, like coaching / mom life, coaching / leaving teaching. Those kind of all go together. And then no question, that 4th one is going to be a like call to action transformation post every week. Can you imagine having in your grid, almost every line is going to have a transformation picture? Like that's going to be so powerful. And not a lot of teams are catching on to this, like reducing how many times they're posting. Like this is really going to make a big difference for one, onboarding new coaches, because no new coach wants to post. I was one of them. I did not want to post on social media, and nobody wants to. And I get it. Like I don't even have 14 great things to say. And that's what Brian, my Instagram guy, was saying. He's like, there's no way anyone has 14 great things to say in a week. You just don't. No one is that interesting. And like Danielle's people said, like we're not even giving our girls the chance to miss us because we're always like right there and not adding a 10 at a value. Like it ends up being like a 7 across the board. Like I'd much rather do less. And he was like, Brian was like, you need to be at a 10, like paraphrasing, but, and so then 4 posts get you to a 10 and people miss you. And so they watch more of your stories. That's what he's like, that's the.
Oh, that's good. Then maximize the stories.
Yeah.
That's really good. And I think too, with just having so many posts, I haven't been able to really be creative with them. Like I haven't been able to really spend time on like getting creative with like my pictures. So I'm
right.
being like blah, which I hate that. But anyways.
Agree. So I'm so glad, Hillary, that's been Ashley Shaw's planning has been helping too. Yay.
Okay, I'm good.
Cool. All right, Miss Steph, you're up, girl.
Hi guys. I would rate myself a 6 this week. I think I started off really strong, but I started to feel a little burnout like towards the end of the week. We were supposed to go on vacation today. My grandmother's really sick, so just a lot of like family stuff going on. So like yesterday I just like couldn't even like look at my Instagram. I was just like, I had to put the blinders on for just a day. So yeah, so I got myself back into like my groove this morning. I was up at 6, like sent down some messages, kind of updated the spreadsheet a little bit. So I'm getting myself back into the groove. One thing I recorded a video. I've been doing coaching videos too. I really like it. Just like Rach, as you said, as like there's like personality to it. But I haven't gotten too many responses yet. And sometimes when I feel like I talk to people, they think this is just like a free for all too. Like this is just like not a business. And I've gotten a couple people who love the idea of, I know I mentioned it in the Voxer group, like love the idea of like the support, the accountability, but they just don't want to buy anything. And I have like really mixed feelings about that because I want to be able to support people like on their health and fitness, but also like I'm running a business. So I'm not just here to like post motivational, like support,
Right.
for the hell of it. So, I had one girl respond. I kind of came back with her, like with like a response to her, and she was very receptive. She was like, I understand you're so passionate about your business. I like totally get it. But she was like, I'm already at a gym. Like my husband would kill me if I invested in something else, yada, 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 yada. I think she'll sign up at some point because like we still connect and like we've built a strong rapport. But she was just like, I wish that I could have something that was just like support, accountability, and like share recipes and do X, Y, and Z. So I am fine. I've really been like back and forth between Facebook and the Challenger app with my groups, and it hasn't really been benefiting my group at all. And it's kind of made me kind of nuts because I'm like, what should I use? But I took a poll. I did Facebook this last one, and I took a poll in my group, and a lot of people actually want me to go back to the Challenger app because they felt that like they're on Facebook to like for like social media purposes, and like the Challenger app is like completely separate from that. They can log their workouts, they can log their Shakeology. So I'm going to just strictly use the Challenger app. I'm not going to do this like back and forth like thing. And they want me to post a lot more recipes. So I think what I'm going to do is like post a recipe every day, have them share a recipe that they're loving or whatever.
You can get a lot of recipes from Fixate.
Yes. So I'm definitely going to do that. Maybe like kind of have like themes for the month. So like recipes, for September, like getting back into like routine fitness mode. So that's that. I watched your video yesterday and Champions page. And like one thing I still really do just struggle with is time management. I loved when you made the point about like when you're cleaning your house, like, you could be vacuuming, but then like, oh shit, there's like dishes in the sink. And that's so me. Like I can never ever finish just one project. And so I'm trying to find a little bit more consistency in that. And again, that's just like my own
What if
my own personal thing I need to work on.
what if you try doing one, I was gonna say about my challenge groups, so my groups are on Facebook, but I sign people up through the Challenger app. So they get their welcome email like through the Challenger app, so then they can log their stuff, but then they get to be social in the group. Does that make sense? Because that's the only thing I don't like about the app is that crap gets lost. Like it gets buried with people logging their workouts. So I kind of do both, and then people get so that's just my
idea too. Yeah, that's not a bad idea too.
It's so that works pretty well. And then I was gonna say for you, it might. I know some top coaches who they run their business this way. They do, and this will go along with, this will be like time management on crack for you. It'll be like cold turkey, like Band-Aid. You, on Mondays, you only do coach invites. So that may look like, what's the goal in there? Like 50? You do 50 coach invites, and then you're done for the week. Yeah. And then the next day, Tuesday is Challenger invites. You do them all. Wednesday, you do follow-ups. You do all your follow-ups. And then you're just like, it's one thing a day, so you don't feel like you're doing all of these things every day. You know, like maybe that would work. I know a lot of that would be business that way.
I do. I've actually considered doing that because I think someone brought that up once. And I think that might help me tremendously because I feel like I get very lost. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, like if I'm talking to someone, it's like, oh, she could totally be a coach. But then I go to the next conversation and I'm like, she's like totally at Challenger level. Like let's start at the Challenger level, but there's definitely potential for her. So I feel like I just get like completely all over the place with that. So I definitely like that Mondays are coach invites.
Yeah, and you'll see the spreadsheet go green every cell, and then like you said, if you're talking to Shelby and she sounds like a great coach, like great, you got a bonus invite out, you know, like then you're just like they're gravy at that point.
Right. I guess, and then the other thing, so I'm using Stim still, and I'm probably only getting like 20 to 30 new followers like a day, which I guess is pretty good because that's like 20 to 30 new conversations. If I go, what I do is I go to like followers, and anyone who's new, I send them a message like thanks for the follow message or whatever. So I usually get between like 20 and 30 a day, which is good. But then some days it's obviously not as much. And then I'm going through my list and I'm like, oh crap. Like, I like messaged all these people already and there's like nowhere else for me to like communicate with people. So I feel like I need to maybe intentionally go into like those bigger pages and like start following people that way. I don't know if anyone struggles with that or if people are doing that. Like, are you guys going into bigger pages to like find people who are your niche or whatever? No. Yeah. I mean, it's it's time consuming.
It's time consuming. But if you do all of these things like in one day, if you're besides new combos, then if you're doing 30 new combos a day, like you should hit that target for sure.
Yeah.
And then I'll let you know how Brian works out. I feel like I'm dating him. Really.
I find that that's like really incredibly interesting, like what he said.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I was like, today I actually like got back on my stories and I'm like, oh, maybe people had FOMO because I wasn't really on stories yesterday at all. Like, and I did like one post yesterday, which was fine, but I just like didn't do much of anything yesterday because I felt so burnt out.
That's okay. Like to take a break and like be honest. Be like, I just needed to unplug yesterday.
And that's what my post was about. And Perfect. That's what my post was about. So, but other than that, everything else has been going pretty good. But I think I need to try that like daily.
Yeah, I want you to try that this week. And then report back on Saturday how that felt.
Perfect. Sounds good. Thanks.
Okay, who's next? Lauren, and then Hillary, you're next.
Hi. Sorry I was late this morning. So I have a specific question for you, Rach, but I think my productivity, I'd rate a 6 this week because the beginning of the week I started off really strong and then I had my son and I had a lot of appointments to take him to this week. So by the time I got home and everything, I was like, my husband got home and I'm like, I gotta be honest, I don't want to stare at my computer. So this weekend I'm looking forward to kind of getting back into it, but I'm having trouble like with my Instagram. Like, first of all, I deleted a lot of my Stim stuff, but I have to take the time to put new stuff in the targets because I'm just getting a bunch of random companies and I'm not getting like any followers that I can like actually message.
Mm-hmm.
and the way I'm finding them is I'm scrolling through my feed and I go, oh, that's a new person. They're not following me yet. So I have to like scroll through my feed and go, yeah, I like them. I'll comment on their wall and stuff, but I'm having trouble like really focusing on Instagram because I look through my followers and it's just such a slow process. I think Facebook has been really easy for me because I can just go into my Facebook friends and go, who are the new people that I've like met or that I like or that I friended, and then they follow me back, and I instantly send them that message of like, hey, like, thanks so much for like adding me, you know, I don't know if this is up your alley, and that's been going really well. But then people responded like very quickly. Yeah, I'm interested. Send me the info. And then I sent them the info and then like nothing. So I don't, and I want to get back to them like now and be like, so have you read the packages yet? Like, so I don't know how quickly I should. I think you mentioned it a little bit at the beginning of the call, Rach, but I don't know how quickly I should be going back to that. I don't want to be like, so have you read it yet? And some of them I did because I'm like, I know they said they were really interested. And then the responses I've been getting back lately are, thanks so much, but I'm not interested. You're great though. You're so inspiring. Thanks for all your motivation. Or I work with a trainer at the gym, but I love following your posts. And I'm like, okay, bless and release, you know, and I've gotten a lot better at like letting go and not taking it personally and then just moving on to the next person. But I'd love to know like do you sit on your phone, Rach, like for Instagram, or because I'm using Flume too.
No.
But that's the only way I can like effectively and quickly get to like their profiles. And it's
okay, so I do use my phone, but I'm basically like just sending videos to people, and they're people who have been following me. So I go through my followers list. Like there's so many people in there, and it's okay if they're a repeat invite, especially if they didn't respond the first time. So I'm just sending a video, and I want it based on people who have been following me, because I do message my new followers, but my intention with new followers is not to get them hooked right away. Like that pretty much never happens for me because they don't have any trust in me. Like they're like, I love your page, but that's not going to be enough for them to like believe me, you know, like for me. And so my intention with them is just to show them like, hey, I answer my messages. Hey, I do have this to offer. I work out, obviously. Like, I just want them to just know that. And then, like, later I'll invite them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
which I do that. And sometimes I do that and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm just like, all right, I'm sending, because it's that if this isn't up your alley, that's totally cool. Would you be interested in the details? And I got a lot of people back going, yeah, totally. Or, oh, thank you so much for thinking of me. But like, and then the ones I do send it out to, they just don't respond. So should I just keep following up with them until I hear something? Or
yeah, I would put them on a follow-up list. What are you sending them for the details?
So with the details, I'm saying, so I give them a very short synopsis. I'm focusing a lot on Lift 4. I really like the 4-day a week. So that's what I'm sending them. Like it's 4 days a week, 30 to 40 minutes. It's crazy. You know, I'm getting such great results. And I've been loving having free time. And they're like, oh, and then I said, does that sound like it would benefit you? And they're like, yeah, totally. And then after that, I send them, okay, so like where do you see yourself in 30 days? Or what are your goals? And then we talk about their goals. They give me really specific goals. Like I want to flatten my tummy, you know, awesome. That's so great. Okay. I think this would be a really good fit for you. Take a look at the packages. Let me know which one you gravitate towards, and I'll send you an email to finish up your setup. And then nothing. And then I'll follow up in like 4 days and be like, hey, like, did you get a chance to take a look at the packages? And nothing. And I had so many people respond to like that first initial Monday, Tuesday, like where I was really shooting out tons of messages, and some of them were no's and some of them were yeses. But then like, no, I even had a girl write me like a novel telling me how, can you help me? And nothing. So I don't know if it's just the end of it could be just timing or what's going on.
Are you talking about Shakeology at all? Like when you're talking with them about details?
I say my superfoods.
I would give them, try adding in that, like talking about Shakeology. I always talk about Shakeology and the benefits, because then they're not like, I wonder if some of your people are getting like sticker shock and then they're like, that's why they're not responding. Okay. I still get that, and I talk about all the value of like all the shit that they're gonna get. So maybe try adding that in. Oh, I love that Kim sends the Shakeology video. I feel like that's very you. Have you seen the Tony Horton Shakeology video? Yeah. Maybe send that. I think that's very like your personality. Like and be like check out all the like, you know, like gross ingredients you'll get in Shakeology that taste so good, and just throwing that in there, and then see if more people respond to that.
Okay.
All
right, I'll try that for sure. And yeah, I told Jack last night I've been trying to find like a good balance, because like I have goals for myself, but I'm also like, I was onboarding my new job that I'm starting next on the 27th, and they had like 3 hours worth of onboarding material, and it's a sales job too. So I'm like just trying to find the balance, because I'm getting to the point a couple times where I'm like, I don't enjoy sitting down on my computer when I could be hanging out with my son, and I need to like find that balance again, because I want to help motivate like my coach Abby. She's like, I just don't know what to post anymore. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're posting great. She's super raw, like with her Insta stories, but she's like, but nobody's wanting to sign up with me. I don't get it. I've lost 30 pounds. So do you have anything that like something that you tell your coaches, Rach, that like would help? I told her, I'm like, you're doing everything right. She's like, I don't know how you promote Shakeology. I'm like, you're doing it. You're saying like your superfood shake, you're doing it in your stories. It just takes time.
It does. It takes time and consistency and showing people that you're not going to give up. This is like huge. And like Kim said, transformation photos are everything. It just takes people time to build a trust, because when I see new people sign up for an MLM, I think the same thing. I'm like, you're going to quit in 3 weeks. I think that when people sign up as coaches, because that's why MLMs get a bad rap. So it takes time to show people that you're doing this for real and sticking with it. So just like, she just has to be consistent in reading personal development. 100%.
Yeah, I'm loving Being Boss, by the way. So
good, yay!
Yeah, and I can't wait to read the Lucky Bitch one too. I'm looking forward to
so good.
Yeah, so that's what I'm telling her, and because I had so many coaches going active recently, and I'm like, but I told her, I'm like, my business isn't perfect either, but last month, like I worked really hard towards the end, and I got Success Club 8. Like it just takes time, but it took me a while to get there. So
it does, and it's always, that's why I always tell people, like, you need to be thinking to go Emerald every week, because coaches are gonna go inactive, especially discount coaches. People are gonna cancel. I have business, like you guys, I've had a diamond quit 100%. She does not have an account anymore. And it happens. And like Lindsay Matway has had 85 diamonds quit. That was like a year ago when she gave that stat. So I'm sure it's more now. Like it happens. So we can either like let it go or like keep moving, or like let it bother us. And that's what, you know what I mean? And I mean, I get in the funk too, but we just have to like just keep leading by example. And when you're like recruiting and hitting Success Club, they'll see that it's possible.
Yeah, definitely. And I appreciate all of your leadership, Rachel, and because you're just great.
Thanks, girl. All right. Love it. And Hillary said you're next.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
So I'm really nervous. I don't know why.
Nervous. Okay, just rate yourself on your productivity for the last week on a scale of 1 to 10. It doesn't mean like results in your business. It means like how effective you worked.
So I would definitely say a 9, because I have been like killing it this week, especially compared to like since I signed up. I don't know, like I was definitely a discount coach, and then I just like love following you, Rachel. So I'm just like, I could do what Rachel does. Like I'm a teacher, I'm a mom, I could do this too. And then that's like when people started like seeing my results, and like asking me about it, asking to sign up. And that's how I went from like 1 coach to 4 in a matter of like 10 days.
10 days.
I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to make this like a real thing. And then ever since I've been making it a real thing, it's like, holy shit, like it's been crazy. So yeah, I've been like really focused on messaging. I think like Stephanie though, I'm gonna have to sit down and be like, I'm just doing coaches today. I'm just doing clients today. And like when Stephanie said that, like I get squirrely. Like I'm very time management, and I work during like just that time, and I'm focused on just coaching. But within coaching, I'm like a squirrel, and I'm like, this person followed, this person coached, this client, and then I like they're not genuine like conversations that I'm having, and so I definitely need to get better at that. And so Stephanie, like you, I'm gonna try next week and just do like Monday is all coaches, and that's it. I think that's gonna help like definitely shrink down the time that I'm spending, because like being a teacher, I don't get home until Like our school day ends at like 4:15, and that's really late. And then like by the time I get home and like pick up my kid, it's like 5:15, and then she goes to bed, and then I'm like, oh hey, like this is crazy. It's like like going 100 miles an hour all day every day. And so that way, if I could just like narrow it down, I could do a little bit like before I get to like before I start work, and then a little bit during lunch and plan, and then a little bit at night. And that way, it's like I get home and like, hey hubby, nice to see you, but I've got work to do, you know. And then just one question with STEM. So I did the free trial like when I first signed up as a coach, but then I noticed that I was following more than like, so like STEM was signing me up to follow more people than I was getting followers. Like I maybe had like 3 new followers, and I was just like, but I'm following now like 900 new people, and this doesn't make sense to me.
That's how it works. They go and follow people, and in the hopes that they will follow you back. That's how it works. Like that's really the only way. So then you'll just want to like clean them out with the cleaner app, people who didn't follow you back. And, but that's how it works. And then you'll find like there will be accounts that have a great follow back rate, and those are like winners.
Yes. Okay. Cause like I'm just like now, cause I was going to sit down and like get some work done while Biddy's napping. And I was just like, I don't have anybody new to message. I mean, I do need to like go all the way like through my Instagram, like especially towards the bottom. They may be warm market people, but I'm going to message them anyway and be like, hey, like I'm super serious now. I'm going to send you a video. I already created my video, so I'm like super pumped about that. I just need to like, take it out. And so like I have more, but I'm like nervous for next week because my numbers were so great this week. I'm just like, oh boy, like I have to do this again. And like, who am I going to reach out to if I don't have like new people?
Yeah, it makes you like grow your market.
Yeah.
Forces you.
Yes, exactly. Because I'm like, I'm running out of people.
Right,
so
right.
I think I'm going to do the STEM today and just do that. Perfect. And get those new people going. So random thought too, my girl Val, she signed up for me as a discount coach, but now she actually wants to recruit. I can like add her to the Flex Force
fam. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Cause I was kind of where Danielle was too. I was like, I don't know what to do with you. Like, I have no idea.
Send her the training is in the pinned post. Send her that and awesome. Like, yeah.
All right. And that's all I have.
Yay! All right, who's next? Couple more. Kathy, Juanita, you're on deck. Amy, you're next.
Okay. All right, am I unmuted?
Yes, you're good.
Okay, cool. Sorry, guys. I've had my Energize, my coffee, and I have to pee really bad. So
I know, I do too. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm actually going to rate myself as a 10 for the very first time. And I think some of the biggest things for me is I finally found like the schedule that works for me. I've been getting up at like 4:40 in the morning, which is, I mean, if I had ever said that like a couple months ago, I'd be like, no freaking way. But so I'm starting to get up early and I'm actually getting in my workout, and I did my first like 2 weeks straight of personal development, which I have never done. And it's made a huge difference.
Told you.
I know, right? You've been telling me forever now, but so I'm able to get in my workout, my personal development, and I'm pretty much getting all of my follow-ups in before my girls even get up, which has been a game changer.
Yay!
And then my oldest is in preschool on Tuesday, Thursday, so I've kind of like set that morning schedule, and then Tuesday, Thursday, I really like hit it hard because I only have my littlest with me. Which gives me at least 2 nap times to work. So that's made a huge difference. And then of course, having the 3-day refresh, that was a huge surge for me. So like I had no issue with follow-ups or invites this week. I'm still struggling. I'm getting more comfortable. Like I have, like Danielle, I have no problem sending out the videos and stuff for the coaching, but it's just finding those girls that I'm comfortable sending it to, because I'll be honest, I don't really watch other people. Don't have time for that.
No, I don't have time for that either. Like, I think you guys think like I overthink it. I'm like, she would make a great coach. No, I'm like, she is cute as hell and has like a social media presence. Like, I don't want, I mean, I check their grid, like, to make sure they're not a coach. And then when people are like, I'm already a coach, I'm like, could have fooled me, sister. Like, you don't have anything on there about health and fitness. But I'm like, good for you, girl, whatever. So I do not overthink it. I literally am in, all I can see is their little picture. And I'm like, go to message them, see their first 9 of their grid, and then send them a message.
Okay. And you're sending it, I mean, if you haven't even sent them anything at all, like there's no conversation there or anything.
Correct.
So I guess what I'm worried about is sending it to somebody that literally just followed me like the day before, and then be like, okay. Because that's probably, I mean, that's the area my numbers are the lowest for this week. I'm a lot more comfortable in asking. It's just typically when I'm asking somebody if they want to be a coach, it's with like, either I've got through the script and now I'm asking, do you want to be a discount coach or just a challenger? Or it was like, no, I lost the train of thought. Okay. I got it. I totally forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah, just send it. Like, go through, it's like a shoe-in. If you go through your followers, like, then they already follow you. Like, and they can see that they follow you. And if they haven't been watching your stories or seeing your posts, who cares? You don't know that. Like, and that doesn't mean, you know, like, and I say, like, the fear thing because, like, they can take that as, like, maybe I've been watching their stuff, but I've been too nervous to reach out. You know, it's like the same thing as like people feel that way about us, like if they're interested in stuff. So just send it. Don't overthink it. Just send it.
Okay, cool. Oh, and then the other thing was just like my biggest stressor over the last couple of weeks was coming up with posts. So like when you guys came out, when you mentioned that yesterday or whenever about only doing it 4 times a week, I was like, okay, that's my jam. Right there. I'm doing that.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Don't even need to know why.
Just don't care. Just doing it.
Love it. Casey, I think you can. I don't know because I don't have one, but it should still show you at the bottom of your stories. Like it should show like 3 circles and you should be able to click on like who sees your stuff. Okay. Juanita, you're up.
Awesome. Oh, I gotta take these out. I don't know, like an 8 or a 9 this week. My numbers are definitely up more than they have been ever. Couple of weeks. I can't hear you. Hold on. I'm having audio problems. I think this is the solution. Okay. So I set a goal a couple weeks ago to connect with 40 new people a day. And that was pretty easy at first because I still had my like page that I was running ads on, but then over the course of that time, suddenly, like, I was only getting people from Mexico. So I shut my Facebook ads off, and now, like, I get 0 traction on my like page. Like, Facebook isn't showing it to anyone. So I'm mostly working from my Instagram. I digress. Anyways, I'm trying to connect with 40 new people a day, which is going really well. It's definitely been and still is a learning curve to have time management while upping my numbers so much. And right now it's just the season of our life because we have football season starting and volleyball, and it's just kind of crazy. So I'm trying to work in pockets of time when I can. And I'm getting there. So right now my focus is hitting 1 star, and I have 5 working coaches underneath of Josh. I'm trying to build him to diamond. Or I have 5 active coaches. 4 are working, but not really working coaches. They say they're working. Right. So I started doing or offering one-on-one conversations or calls with girls that want help with drafting posts, because that's really where they kind of fall short, is that fear of like putting themselves out there. So I think the 4 posts a week is going to be golden for them. So I'm just kind of looking for runners. So I think my next call to action post is going to be about girls that are really looking to work hard and want to change their life. Because that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. Video messaging does not work for me. I tried that, but I think my personality is so like in your face that when I do a video, I think it really like overwhelms people. So texting works better for me. That's just what I found personally. So that's kind of where I'm at, is getting working coaches.
Cool. Just keep talking about it on your stories. You attract what you talk about, they say. So awesome. That sounds awesome. How many times did you try video messaging? How many days?
Like for a full week, and I barely got any traction back on any of them.
Okay.
Like I did it with follow-ups and invites, and most people did not respond to the video messaging at all.
Right.
So, it is what it is.
It is what it is. All right. Amy?
Hi. I would probably give myself a 7 just because I feel like Gina W. I was gone a couple days this week, so I'm playing catch up right now, but it's going fine. I just suck at checking in because I hate Facebook and I never log onto it, which is really good for your business, by the way. But I feel good about all that. I don't really have any issues on that, but I want to talk to you about how to maximize income. Because I know you talked about before how you, like last year, you were working more on income as opposed to rank.
Mm-hmm.
But where I get confused is so many coaches say you want to hit Success Club 10 and then build your spouse because you get that Shakeology commission.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I'm still clawing my way back up. So like, I want to get Adam as high as I can because he's on my weak leg and my strong leg is like insane. So, like, what do you think is best for me to do? And I don't care about Success Club at all. Like that whole thing. I don't care about like getting prizes, but like I want the money.
Right. So anything, okay, so I would say anything that's not a coach sign up, you should put under Adam. But you need coaches because you need to get back to Diamond, which equals more team cycle bonus very quickly. And for a while when I was focused on income, I let Scott fall to Emerald and I thought it was no big deal because I'm like, it's $5 or $6 different or whatever. I'm like, who cares? No, it makes a huge effing difference. I'm here to tell you that team cycle bonus makes a huge difference from Emerald to Diamond. So when you get coaches, they need to go under you until you don't need them, and then they can go under him. You know what I mean? But anything that's not a coach sign up, put under him.
Okay.
And then think about like once
that's Club 10, like if that's under me or.
Well, so the thing with, I am not willing to give up Success Club leads because it's a lot of money throughout the year. Like it ends up, I think somebody has figured out before, it's typically about an extra $6,000 a year. Like that's a lot to me. So I do focus on Success Club base. I don't give a shit about a free hat, but I do, like I like free stuff, but I care more about the Success Club leads. Like seriously, that's why I got to Emerald. That's why I that's why 10 is my non-negotiable because of the free commission. And you have to, so that's the only thing is, if you got Adam to Success Club 10, he'd have to have a bot subscription to get the lead. So it's just, so that has to be, that only you can decide that part.
Okay.
But that's what I would say is anything besides coaches, and then, make it like, okay, your non-negotiable is you're getting 5 new coaches a month. Like that will get you to 10, and then everything else is going under Adam.
Right. Okay.
Did you tell compliance you're married to him?
Yes.
Okay. I do not like getting compliance emails, and I got about 5 yesterday.
That's weird, but
I don't know.
Yeah. I emailed right back.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, Amy's got to claim them. All right. Casey, Kara, who's next? Sorry, this is going over a little bit, guys, but I want to make sure everyone gets their time. Go ahead, girl.
Okay, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to try and collect my thoughts. I'm like getting sleepy now. I would rate myself probably like a 7. I worked an extra shift this week, and so I was in zombie mode for a majority of it, but I'm trying to make sure I hit those numbers. And I think it really helped that Lauren was like, okay, 7 of this a day and 7 of this. Even though I'm not hitting it, it gives me like a number to shoot for. I feel like I always hit the new combo numbers. but it's just like the follow-ups and the invites, because it feels like my conversations aren't moving fast enough that I can do the inviting. So I think that's where I'm getting stuck. Like, I don't want to like make it be like a super cold message where I'm just like, hey, how are you? Or hi, how are you? Like, where are you from? And then all of a sudden being like, okay, do you want to join like my boot camp and stuff like that?
I would find people to invite to boot camps off people that have been watching your stories. People at the top are people who religiously watch your stories and stuff. Just send them a video message and it gets easier, I promise. And then I am like followers and stuff, I am sending like it's a cold message, but they aren't cold market it's not a cold message because they've already been following me, you know? And the more invites you do, then the follow-up target will take care of itself, because the more invites you do, the more follow-ups you'll have to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think I'm getting the same people like watching my stories every day. So I don't know how to get more like different people into my stories, because it's like, I don't know. But I'm working on that.
Is like to dangle stuff in your posts, like, you know, like just on stories I talked about this or whatever. That's like I don't have like a great tip for that either.
And then in terms of time management, so the way my day is usually able to work, which I haven't done well because I haven't been able to get my butt out of bed early enough this week, but I do like a power hour in the morning, one during Camden's like lunchtime nap, and then one in the evening. But then Instagram will like block me, and then I'll like have to stop. So I feel like I'm very limited into how many messages I can send out, because I can only do that like 3 times a day. And that's like, I don't know, like not enough messages going out.
The video message, like direct messaging them, not from their stories, is will not really get you blocked. Like I can send over 30 messages, the coach invites a day, and not get blocked. I don't even get a warning.
Just from like people you're following, or people that are, because I run out of people that I follow. So then I'll take it from like people that Stim has had me followed that are like, that look like they're in my niche market.
Go off of your followers. Like the people that are already following you, just go into that list and just send messages.
Okay. I feel like I can't find any of like the newer people.
It doesn't matter if they're new or old. I can't really tell. But if I've never sent them the video message before, then I'm sending it.
You'll resend it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even if I've sent like a cheerleader message, then I'm sending them the video message. Especially if I've sent them the cheerleader message.
To coaching?
What? To coaching, yeah.
Like to coaching. Okay. And then I've been getting a lot of objections. Like there's a lot of moms that I talk to, and then they keep saying like, well, I like to go to the gym and blah, blah, blah. Do you have like a good, like, I don't know, counter for that? Like, I would love to go to the gym too, but like, obviously I don't have anybody to watch my kid, and I'm not comfortable with childcare at the gym.
I actually say something like, I used to be such a gym rat. Like I loved the gym. I thought in-home fitness was a joke. Like, joke's on me. I'm in the best shape of my life post-baby. That's what I say. And I don't even like ask a question after that. I just like leave it at that.
And then just like let them come back to you or something.
Yeah.
Okay. And then my last question, I have someone who wants to do the 3-day refresh challenge pack, but obviously like she's hiking or backpacking or something next week, so she's not going to be able to do the group or do it with us. Can I still add her to the group to get the info on it for later?
Totally.
Okay. This has been really helpful. I'm liking this.
Good. I'm glad. Juanita, tell me what you mean about the emeralds count as the 6 active.
So we need 6 active coaches to be diamond, but the emeralds count is like part of those 6. Or do I need 2 emeralds and then more, like 6 more active coaches?
You need 8 coaches, 4 on each leg, and then 2 of those need to be emeralds. So it's a collective number of 12.
Can you say that? Can you say that one more time?
4 on each leg.
Yep.
And then one of those on each leg needs to be emerald, so they have 2 underneath them. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, and Kara.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
I would give myself a 9 this week. I'm like just making it super important to sit down every night, and I found that for me, working between the hours of like 9 and 1 a.m. or 10 and 1 a.m. is like what works for me, and my kids sleep in, so that's what we do, and it works well. I'm just having an issue with like new file, or like breaking it up in between, like who gets a new follower invite versus like a coach. If they're like the kind of the cold message where you're just like reaching out and inviting them that way, making sure I hit all 3 tiers. And so I feel like if they're watching my stories, then I should be sending them that, like that one. And then if they're liking my post, then I should say that one. But I start with the new followers because it's the easiest one to do.
Yeah.
Fastest one to do. And then I'm sending them that like first message, just like I love connecting with, positive vibe. And so then I'm like needing to find more people to invite.
So then, so I do the same thing. Like once they're in if they're a new follower, like they're just going to go in that category for the week. Then next week I can invite them if I want to.
Okay.
But then I'm just going off of like my followers, and I have no shortage of nobody has a shortage of followers, like for people to invite. If you have more than 40 followers, like you have no one has a shortage of people to invite. Go to your followers or people you're following, and that's how I'm inviting to other things or stories.
Okay, and you said you're doing the video for all of your messaging now? You're sending a message for like the cheerleader message?
I'm still sending a cheerleader message, but I am doing the video message specifically for coaching because my return rate is so much higher for sending that. So and it is to people that I've never talked to before. It fits with the message, like it feels genuine and like it does not feel icky to me to like send somebody who, especially if I'm following them and they're following me, like I'm like, hey girl, I've been wanting to ask you this for a little while. Like I just am myself. Like I pretend like I'm doing a story and I'm like, I've been wanting to ask you for a while, but fear's been holding me back. Like, and I'm like, hashtag no more. I'm just going to ask you, like Band-Aid, would you ever consider doing what I do as a coach and joining my team? And it's like vague on purpose. So they ask me a question back usually. And then I'm like, can I send you a few videos about how I stumbled into this and the ins and outs of everything that I do? And usually people say yes, and then I send them those 2 videos.
Okay, cool. That's what I was going to ask too, if everybody's still utilizing the videos or if they're doing the group, because I've been doing the videos and that seems to be bye Danielle.
I'm sending the videos because
that's been like the easy.
Yeah, it's easy, and my people want like one-on-one combos. So that's been like sneak peek groups don't work for me. So I was like, why am I doing them for coaching? It doesn't make sense. So
right. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yay! Kim, I can't see you, but do you want to do your check-in?
Yes, I didn't realize that. Well, I'm so excited to be on this group. Everyone looks great on here, but my hair is like all over the place. So no picture this time, but I will do it next time. I am a terrible squiggly person. I mean, I'm like all over the place. In fact, my husband gave me this plaque. I was trying to get a picture of it on here. It says, my decision-making skills closely resemble that of a squirrel when crossing the street. So I am all over the place. But I think I'd give myself probably a 9 or a 10 this week. When I posted my transformation picture, that was huge. And I have a hard time finding older pictures because I never liked having my picture taken. I'd cover my, I'd be behind somebody, but I'm so short that they make me go forward, in the front. Anyway, so the population that I'm just on Facebook right now. Still learning it. Finally just learned how to do a bookmark. This is how bad it is, but I am just loving it. And I'm going to do, I think, a back to school, because a lot of my people are educators. I'm a former educator. And so a back to school special on some of them who have like really shown interest, but they haven't committed. I mean, that's the part I'm at right now. They're slowly coming in. I think the people that I have are, like they're probably 50 and up, and age-wise, and they like to like read everything and know everything, and that's great. I get it, and I'm the same way. And I sometimes I send out too much information, but I like them to know everything up front. But my biggest struggle is, and it always has been, is my organizational skills. I'm just like all over the place, and I need something. I tried Teamsy, and it probably wasn't a good time for me to try it because I was just getting into the coaching aspect of it, and so I had so much to learn. But Asana, I think, is one that some people recommended. So I don't know, does anybody have like a really easy one that someone who is not tech savvy can do?
I was just gonna say, you should get the High Achievers Playbook. It's you will love it. Being a former teacher, you will love it. It's hard copy, so you don't have to do any extra technology. And and one of my like really good coaching friends, who's like number 11 or 13 in the company, like that's what she's used forever. She's been a coach for 5 years, and that's what she has all her new coaches use. So I think that's what you should get.
Okay, so is that kind of like a computer dummy book? I mean, like where everything's real easy on there, and
it's hard copy. Like it's like a planner, but it's for
okay.
Yeah, so you're excited. I like it.
Yes.
I'll message it to you, Kim. What it's called.
Because I went to Office Math. Okay, thank you. Where I'm at. So my internet says it's unstable right now. Living up here in Minnesota, we are getting the, unfortunately, from the fire. I mean, I feel bad about the fires up in Canada, but it is so hazy here, and I'm going in and out. So, but yeah. So I think
I sent you what it's called. I think you'll really, really like it.
Thank you so much. And then the only other thing I want to say is this program has just been so awesome because I'm reconnecting with old friends, and it's for such a positive thing. I mean, and they're loving it too,
Oh,
it's just,
yeah, that makes me so happy.
Yeah. So that's, yeah.
And we love having you. So this is great.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for taking time out of your day to join us for our little mastermind. Put into action your actionable things and come back ready to crush your check-in next week. Love you guys.
Bye.